One second, I'm locking the door behind my friend.
All right. We are live. There we are. Ben got shy for a second. He had to leave. Welcome back to another Linux 18 for this Friday the 13th. Uh, I am not superstitious in spite of what's happening in the world today with the health crisis going on. I will say this: one of my friends thought that the Linux 8 team sounded elitist. And I thought, well, it wouldn't make sense to call it the Linux B team, right? Welcome to the Linux B team, featuring the dumbest minds in the Linux community. That's
What?
that's right. If you're stupid, you've come to the right place. Yeah, no, well,
Huh?
it's
Yeah.
just a joke. We'll stick with the Linux A team. So welcome, Steve, and welcome, Ben, my two
Howdy.
partners in crime here. So
Yo.
before I begin, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our friend Stephanie Forian, singer friend. She just released a new cover song. It's kind of cute, featuring a box of oatmeal. Don't ask, just look at
Okay.
the video. I'm not going to spoil it. It's Stephanie Forian. It's Stephanie Forryan. Just watch the video. It's kind of cute. And anyway, it's a cover song of I forgot the name of the song already. There's just so much in my mind
Oh,
this week with the health crisis going on. But check out the cover song; it's cute. But as far as the health thing going on around the world, do wash your hands. And look, it's been on the news 24/7. I won't go into it. Just wash your hands and
yes.
be safe out there. So, Steve, what is new?
It's been kind of not a long week, but I went back to work on Tuesday, so I really haven't done anything in the Linux world this week. Been coming home kind of tired, getting used to getting back into the grind.
DT's DT jumped on. DT, DistroTube is on. Is this the elitist Linux stream? No, I just joked. It's a Linux B team featuring the dumbest minds, and it's just a joke. DT,
Hi
welcome,
there.
Ben. What's new?
I've been paid for my tech support services by my sister's boss for reformatting two computers. I put Linux Mint on one of them, then Windows 7 on another. I know Windows 7 is dead, but the problem was it couldn't. I didn't want to put Linux on two machines for him because here's the thing. He just, all he's doing is sending out Twitter posts automatically and uh, Google Alerts on that computer. So I said, okay, screw it. I'll put an older version of Windows on it. Call it a day.
Okay.
Because it's an older machine and it can't run Windows 10 worth of crap. So I finally said, okay, I'm just going to download a pre-updated 2020 version of Windows 7 and give it that. And if the time comes, I'll
Well,
put Windows 10 or some version of Linux on it for him and reset
okay.
it up. So
Well, we are definitely going to talk about Linux tonight.
yeah.
DT says the dumbest minds are only the enlightened know the joy of cannolis and the Vegemite. That's one joke for DT. Let me jot that. I'm keeping track here.
Vegemite
Okay.
stuffed cannoli.
Vegemite
Oh
stuffed
God.
cannoli. My goodness.
God, DT. Get your head out of
um, I do have, before I forget, I do have a private chat scheduled for tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Time in the AM for you supporters of the channel. Thank you. If you'd like to jump on tomorrow morning, we'll talk
Yeah.
about anything you like. This Sunday, subject to change with all that's been going on with the health crisis, a Linux A Team Europe or UK edition, part of Europe, 1:30 p.m. this Sunday Eastern Time. That may get canceled. I don't know yet. The UK over there in England, have they been hit? I don't know if they have or not. I don't know. I have to check. I know this travel bans from Italy. My dad wanted to fly him next month, and it ain't gonna happen, I guess. Okay. So Stephen, Ben, and my friends here online, welcome all to another edition of the Linux A Team, featuring the best of Linux minds of the world and technology minds in all seriousness. So thank you. Um, we're going to talk about Ubuntu. The latest Ubuntu, the final version scheduled to be released in about a month or so. I've been testing it. Looks good. I just downloaded the new Ubuntu Mate, or I will rather. I'm sure it'll be fine. Fine. Excuse me. I'm doing the show. I'm all choked up. But so Ubuntu will be released next month, around the 20th or something like that.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but where would the world be without Ubuntu? Where would new users be without Ubuntu? Ubuntu got started by Canonical, a company in Canonical, 2004. And really, I think, looking back, if I can remember, I got started in '06. But Ubuntu was the, thank you, DT, on April 20th they plan to, okay, cool. Canonical with Ubuntu really was the first attempt, I believe, at trying to expose Linux on a somewhat user-friendly basis to the masses. I mean, there were Linux-based OSs before then, so that was not a problem in terms of trying Linux. But in terms of something for the masses out there, for the beginners, for the newbies, it seems that Ubuntu at that time was the first attempt to expose a user-friendly desktop environment, a desktop focus system to the masses. I started with Ubuntu in '06. I think Ubuntu started hitting its stride in 2010, 2011 when they switched to the Unity desktop, which I enjoyed a lot. They switched to desktop again in 2017 to the GNOME or GNOME desktop. I liked Unity a little bit better. I think GNOME is getting there. It's not quite as polished or as zippy yet as it should be, but it is getting better. So, getting back to the Ubuntu's legacy, so they had the focus on the desktop for the user and just bringing Linux to the masses. They also, a few years ago, started a global standard of packages called snaps. Installing software on I guess a standard package, if you want to call it that, to kind of simplify things across distributions. So I give them credit for the snaps. I install both snaps and non-snap packages. I install the ones, I test them, and if they work, whether it's a snap package or not, that's the one that I keep. I don't necessarily have favorites. Snaps are supposed to be a little bit better because they have all the dependencies. Everything is self-contained. DT says GNOME is great. All you need is about 32 to 64 gigabytes of RAM, and it should run smoothly. Oh, is that all? It's getting better. DT, you really need at least 4 gigs to make it run somewhat comfortably. It's getting better. It's getting a little bit faster. It's not as lightweight yet as what I would like, but it is getting better in terms of RAM usage. So DT, you are correct. You don't need 32 gig,
No.
but 4 gigs should be enough. All right, so we talk about the desktop focus for newbies. Snap packages, an attempt at least at a global standard of software for Linux, at least for Ubuntu. There are also, look, how many Ubuntu-based systems are there? Ubuntu, Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Studio, Xubuntu, Peppermint, Lubuntu. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I don't think we can underestimate the influence of what Ubuntu has meant to Linux enthusiasts like ourselves and to Windows users who are curious about Linux and may not be happy with what they are using now, especially with all the unique update packages coming in from Windows 10. I'll just leave it at that. So I have to tip off my hat, if I had one, or at least a toast to the Ubuntu team for exposing me to the world of Linux back in '06, because I've said before, in all seriousness, If it wasn't for Ubuntu, I'm not sure I would be here. And back then when I started with Ubuntu, it was Windows XP. I went to Windows 7. Windows 7 was the last great Windows, in my opinion. Windows 10 for some has been a disaster. Lately, with Linux-based systems or Ubuntu-based, I can't think of any disaster. Updates don't break the system. They just work. I run Ubuntu Mate. Linux Mint is another favorite of mine. So, yeah, Ubuntu's legacy is looking good so far. And to all the millions of users out there, I'm sure I speak for many of them, if not all of them. Thank you, Ubuntu team, for giving the world the gift of Ubuntu. So I know Steve had to get to a call. Ben, what say you about Ubuntu?
Well, it was the first exposure I had to Linux, and I don't necessarily hate Ubuntu. It's just not my daily driver of choice. However, if I'm setting up somebody, like you said, with Linux, or they want exposure to Linux, they need to stick with Ubuntu. Because here's the thing, you give somebody like Arch or Gentoo or something like that, unless it's on a Chromebook, they're not going to know what the heck to do with it. They're going to look at you like, what the crap is this? And they're just going to want to pop in that Windows disk and run right the heck back to it because, and that's why the legacy of Ubuntu has always been user friendliness. And I got to tell you, like I said, if I was setting up somebody, doesn't matter who it is, with Linux for the first time, I would give them Ubuntu because it's user friendly. Sure, GNOME is a bit weird, but it signals familiarness. Yes, it's a bit heavy, like we said, but if you have 4 gigs of RAM or more, you can run it without much hassle. I mean, yeah, it looks a bit Mac-ish,
Right.
but it's okay.
It is
because,
polished.
it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, some folks are going to love it, some folks are going to hate it, but like we said, there are multiple variants of Ubuntu. There's a Mate version, there's a XFCE version, and personally,
Yeah.
if somebody wants a Windows-esque look, give them XFCE. That's my advice. I would give them that personally versus GNOME. I mean, for example, when I was at work 2 days ago, and I tried to install GNOME on a netbook for my boss, good luck. So I swapped it for Mint XFCE, which is based from Ubuntu. It ran fine. I mean, at first the trackpad was a little dodgy.
Okay.
But that's okay because I could easily, because I gave it a little time,
Yeah.
it worked fine. So yeah, I mean,
Let me
there's many Ubuntu flavors,
right.
and you can pick any one of them. A newbie is going to pick up on it fine. Now, I
Right.
would not give a newbie Debian, which is the father of Ubuntu. No, because I mean, you can give them MX, you can give them this and that, but the reality is, some folks are just more happy with something Ubuntu
Right,
than
right.
Ubuntu vanilla. I mean,
Um,
literally, it's
okay.
that's just the way I look at it.
Okay.
I mean, Ubuntu, like we said, is the best distro for the masses, hands down. That's what it really is.
All right. Steve came back, so let me ask Big Papa Peppermint. User here is Steve. Of course, Peppermint based off Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Ubuntu, would you be here?
Possibly not. I mean,
Okay.
I did when I first tried. I think everyone knows the story about my little Aces netbook and how I got into Linux because of that. Um, the first one I tried was like one of those early offshoots of
Yeah.
Android,
Yeah. Mhm.
and that was garbage.
Yeah.
Then Peppermint 5 was like the first, Ubuntu base, and
Yeah.
I had no idea what all that was. But I think the second one I tried was like PC Linux OS.
Hmm.
And so I was dabbled in RPM and all that for a moment, did Linux Lite and all that. But I think most of the distributions stuck were and stayed around the Ubuntu base. So and then finally sticking fully with Peppermint. And
Okay.
yeah, so I probably would not.
I wanted to ask DT real quick. DT has done quite a few videos. DT, if you had to switch to an Ubuntu based or thought about it, which would be your favorite Ubuntu based system? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I know you don't use Ubuntu, but I just curious what DT, which one he would pick. And please pick a stable one. I know you like to tinker, but I'm just kind of curious. But do we have any other Ubuntu users out there?
That question,
You know.
if I had to answer that question, it would be either Mint XFCE
Okay.
or maybe Ubuntu.
Okay.
Those are the two that I would pick.
Yeah.
And maybe the third would be Ubuntu Mate.
Okay. You do use Ubuntu, DT? Okay. I mean, look, Ubuntu. We joked about its higher RAM usage, and it is. But is it a polished system? Yeah. Is it a good-looking system? Yeah. Is it a reliable system? Is it a system that has support from a fine group of talented men and women? Yeah, I would say so. DT says typically install Ubuntu server, install your own window manager and config. Yeah, you really get into that in terms of window managers and config. It's not necessarily something I would do on this somewhat newbie-based channel, but those of you who want a little bit more advanced tutorials, check out DT's channel and his window managers. Yeah, I mean, look, how many Ubuntu-based systems are there? I lost track. I mean, that says a lot. So again, hats off or a toast once more to the team at Canonical there in the UK who create Ubuntu. DT says years ago, go to Ubuntu, which had OpenBox. Yeah, strip it down, the extra stuff you don't use. Yeah, once you get more advanced, that's a nice thing about Ubuntu base. They are easy to customize without fear too much, at least, about breaking the system. Stick with an LTS, which means long-term support. If you pick with the Ubuntu proper Ubuntu, as it's called, I believe it's 5 years support. The offshoots, I believe it's 3 years with Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu, which still is not bad. DT liked Unity, yeah. Yeah, I think Ubuntu really, again, thinking for me, I had Ubuntu with Unity, was it back in 2016, installed on 2 desktops. And that's when Ubuntu, I believe, peaked with Unity. Once they officially dropped Unity to go with GNOME, I went back to Mate. There's something about that GNOME and GNOME 2 look, which is so, I guess in a way stripped down, TD, although not as stripped down as some would like it, but simple stripped down. It just looks and feels good. It runs fast. It's easy to customize, change. Nothing really breaks it. Very few things break. That's why I like the Mate version, of course, including Linux Mint Mate. But I'm looking for good things from the Ubuntu team in the future. As I said, the latest Ubuntu looks good. It does feel a little bit faster. Still not as fast as I would like, as DT mentioned. You do not need 32 gigs of RAM. It wouldn't hurt. But it is polished. So on my backup machine, which is on my 50-inch TV here that you cannot see, I'm watching Ancient Aliens. But once the 20.04 comes out next month, I will probably do an in-place upgrade on the other machine because I trust them. And being that that's going to be an LTS, I'll probably just keep that for a few years and leave that the way it is. So for those of you who are curious about Linux and where should you start, look, back in 06, I don't think I could have recommended any Linux-based system for beginners. Man, have times changed. Ubuntu, if you have enough RAM, and if you have a 64-bit system, no more 32-bit from Ubuntu, you can certainly try Ubuntu. If you have a 32-bit, One of my ThinkPads, I had to download Linux Mint Mate because they still offer 32-bit support. So I want to say thank you to the Linux Mint team. And DT says, ancient aliens brought us the virus and the Illuminati. Yes, from the planet Mars. No. But so I guess I should give a shout out to Linux Mint for still doing 32-bit releases. Like I said, my ThinkPad, actually, you know what? Both the ThinkPads I have left are 32 bits. So I have Linux Mint on both of them because the new Ubuntu, as of 2017, there is no 32-bit. But that's okay because those machines don't have a lot of RAM anyway, so it probably would not do me any good. Peppermint still offers 32-bit, Steve, right?
Yes, I probably not in the foreseeable future. It's hard to say what the plans are right now. They still don't have a maintainer.
Right.
But if even LXDE has gone off, it's now LXQT. So
Okay.
and I know they weren't going to plan to do anything with that, but LXQT is not going to do 32-bit if I'm right.
Yeah, there aren't too many left. Of course, all the newer machines you buy, even the refurbished ones, tend to be 64-bit. But for now, stick with Linux Mint because I believe all their releases they offer 32-bit, whether it's Mate or XFCE or Cinnamon. I do believe. So we'll see about the future, but there'll probably come a time where I will no longer be able to download a newer version of 32-bit systems, but that's okay. I'll probably wind up donating the machines or just selling them and pick up a 64-bit ThinkPads. ThinkPads are great. I've mentioned this before for installing Linux. There's just something about ThinkPads and Linux. It's like a perfect marriage. It just fits. And those machines, they're kind of like the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going. So ThinkPad, I salute you too. I'm looking at the comments here real brief, but DT says 64-bit is bloat. I don't know about that.
Something is bloat.
Somebody mentioned Alan Pope from Canonical from Ubuntu. Yeah, I think he's starting a museum of ThinkPads, if I'm not mistaken. So hello, Alan. I did send Alan an invite to join us Sunday if he's free for the UK edition of the Linux 18. No reply, but he's probably busy doing other things. But yeah, ThinkPads. Trust me, pick up a refurbished one on Amazon. $200 as long as it have at least 4 gigs of RAM. Actually, for that price, I've seen them with 8 gigs of RAM and an SSD for a ThinkPad refurbished with the warranty. I think it's a bargain. So, hello, Anarita from Canada. Did you see Star Trek Picard? I've seen some of them, yes. And the 7 of 9 was on, yes. She is a hottie, yes. Mm-hmm.
Catch the CBS All Access. Everything Star Trek. I forget with Will Wheaton.
Oh, okay.
It's been on YouTube. And
yeah.
He's been on a couple episodes. She is still a good-looking lady.
Yes, she is. I forget the actress's name. Jerry Ryan. I wonder if they use Linux, a form of Linux, to make the show for the special effects.
Yeah.
That's just a thought. I have no idea, but yeah, I did see 7 of 9, and yeah, she's definitely a 64-bit lady. Haha. DT is watching Voyager. Well, but there is a Voyager Linux, a Voyager OS, I believe. That is French.
Yep.
Parlez-vous
français? Nice distribution too.
Yeah,
Very nice distribution.
I have tested it. Yes, Sleepy. We have Vince from Australia. Linux runs the Borg Cube. Why? Because it has no viruses? You
have been assimilated.
That's right. So, some final thoughts here for Ubuntu's legacy. Thanks to the Ubuntu team. It's because of them I am here, and probably for Steve and for Ben. I'm sure I speak for them. Their legacy, if Elvis is the king of rock and roll and Bruce Lee is the king of kung fu, Ubuntu is the king of Linux?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Just a thought. At least for beginners, for their first exposure.
Yeah, it's at least for beginners. I'll give them that.
I think so. Again,
I
so many
mean,
countless distros based off of it. So yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of different distros.
DT says Jerry Wright is a system D of Star Trek characters, bloated, but all in the right places. But a bump bump. Good one. Um, that's all I have for as far as Ubuntu goes. We'll stick around for a little bit longer. I won't be up too late because I'm going to go to bed early tonight, and we'll do a 9:30 supporter chat in the morning. So that's usually adultish. Sometimes, and we'll talk about other things in the morning. So supporters, check your emails, and we'll chat a little bit tomorrow morning. Alexa did tell me a good joke on my Alexa on my Amazon thing. I asked her for a joke, and she says, "Why can't you trust softball pitchers? They're so underhanded." Ha ha. Anyway, hey, what do you want for free and clean? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat. But so the next one, again, tentatively scheduled for this Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, the UK version of the Linux 18. Probably just be a little bit of a repeat of this for Ubuntu, assuming anybody jumps on. Again, with the health crisis worldwide with the virus, joking aside, it has a potential to be a pandemic. So be careful, and try to avoid, I guess, at least for now, public gathering. Now, I am, as far as gatherings, I'm kind of bummed because Daryl Hall and John Oates are coming here, not too far from here, I think in July, and I was looking forward. But now I don't know. If I buy the tickets, will I lose them? Is there a refund? Will they have to cancel? I love Hall and Oates, Private eyes, they're watching. Anyway, they
Frost,
yeah.
Foghat's supposed to come next month on April 25th for the Derby Jam, but
Okay.
the Derby was pushed back to June. But I got a text from their singer Charlie saying that they still plan to come one way or the other.
Okay. I guess that's going to depend how if this country can contain it. I believe Italy's released a statement today that I believe they are just starting to contain it. Of course, they had a countrywide lockdown, so I guess it all depends how quickly we can contain it. But schools have been closed. Ohio State has closed down here in Ohio, at least for the end of the month. So just be careful out there, and I guess it really does help to wash your hands over and over. I still don't get the toilet paper thing.
Nor do I.
I know somebody mentioned they were using it for a mask or something, but really, Okay.
It's just that mass hysteria that someone starts something and we better like you're going to be inside for. You really need that much toilet paper for being inside for 2 weeks. And all these places that are all these schools, all these business, all these closings, and you're just gonna force them to go somewhere else.
DT has a joke: missing an epic concert over overblown public fear. I can't go for that. No, I can't go for that. No, classic songs. Anyway, but those guys are still rocking. What, in their late 60s, early 70s, I think. I mean, they're really good. They've been blessed. I think they're coming out. They're working on a new album, or just writing it now, or something. So good for Hall and Oates. There's a plug for Hall and Oates. Yep. So.
Well, I told Klaus earlier we went to see Lewis Black last night. He was at our local community college. He was still rocking.
Okay.
And
cool.
Quite a few people went out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I will probably limit my public gatherings I might go watch a movie this weekend called The Hunt. Look kind of different. I saw the commercials for it. I guess it's supposed to be a spoof or a satire of. I don't know if that's true or not, but it looked pretty mean for an R movie. So I might do that. I haven't decided yet. So. All right, let's give this a 5-minute warning for the chat here. Then I'll wrap it up, and then me, Steve, and Ben can chat privately for a little bit. Then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions or suggestions here in the comments, post them now. We'll go through them. We have a topic for a future Linux A team or want to be part of the show. All supporters of the show or the channel are automatically invited. If you want to be part of the show, you can just send me an email at totalOStoday1@gmail.com, or you can just bribe me with a box of cannolis if you don't want to support the channel.
Hopefully.
That the way to an Italian man's heart is through his belly. So yeah. As far as the next topic goes, I don't know yet for the Linux A team. I guess I'll figure it out here. So these are bi-weekly shows. Unless I could pick up sponsors. I actually got 2 emails from the same potential sponsor last week. I finally sent the reply. I forgot all about it. I got so many emails, so hopefully I'll get a reply. I mean, we may do one next week. We'll see. We shall see. So, yeah. They canceled the World Women's Curling Championship. Oh, okay. DT is suddenly hungry for dessert. Yeah, I don't have any. Actually, I don't have anything sweet right now. I have to go shopping tomorrow. Kroger's.
Hopefully Kroger will bounce back.
It was weird looking at that empty shelf of Kleenex and toilet paper.
Yeah, our store is totally out of groceries.
Yeah. Weird. I know. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, okay. Well, Toss, I got a Star Wars server to work on, so I will
Okay.
catch you guys later.
All right, my friend. Maybe I'll catch you in the morning then. Okay.
I'll try and be there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Take it easy, Ben.
Ciao.
And he's frozen.
He's fried out. Yep. Must be the virus. Froze Jitsi. So, yeah. So we'll do hopefully do one Sunday. After that, I should be available this upcoming. I took some time off. I figured this might be the best time to take some time off with all this health crisis going on. So. We have a primary election day here Tuesday in Ohio with my friend running for state rep, so we'll see how that goes. But I'll have some more free time. So make sure that you guys have clicked the notification bell, because I may be able to sneak in some more live shows during the day for my UK friends, and then we'll go from there. Oh, thank you, Anna Rita. Wife, sending kisses to Toss and Steve. Pass by and seems the 2 handsome guys. Okay. All right. Sweet.
Back at her, Anna.
Very nice. See, this is a world-class community. It just is. So, yeah. Freeze frame is gone over for Ben. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little delay. I think he's in Kentucky. Is that where he's at?
Yes. He's in Lexington.
Okay.
Turns out the last time I was there, I was probably 2 blocks away from him.
Oh, wow. Somebody had joked the reason why there's a run on toilet paper is they're opening up a new Mexican restaurant, There's an old Johnny Carson joke, Steve. In space, Mexican food could be considered a form of transportation. It's an old... I'm watching the old things on YouTube with Ronnie Dangerfield and Don Rickles. Those are just classics. Classics.
There's one out there when Don Rickles hosted when Johnny Cash was on vacation.
Yeah.
The funniest thing I ever... I mean, he tore that studio apart.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Anyway, anybody, you like that joke? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good ones. Really tall? Yeah, well, it's a joke. It's a clean joke. All right, last call for comments here in the chat. We'll wrap it up. Anything else? And if you missed any of this, you can watch this on the replay. For the elitist Linux A team, as DT said. I know. Somewhat clean joke. Yeah, I try to keep him clean. Now in private, all bets are off. We do the private
Yeah.
chat. All bets are off. You guys are missing out. Let's not be modest. We're all part of the Linux 8. Like I said, I couldn't call this the Linux B team featuring the dumbest of the Linux. It just didn't make sense. So I got to go. We know we are the elite. Yes, we are. Modesty is bloat.
Oh my God, Paul is in the house.
Well, hello.
Mr. Necromancer.
Again, I want to give another quick shout out to our friend Stephanie. In fact, let me write her name. She released a new cover song. Great singer, independent singer-songwriter. Check out her channel if you would, please. Cool gal. She came to visit here last summer. And yeah, she's just as nice in person as she is on YouTube. It is not fake news, as they say. It's the real deal. So check out Stephanie. New cover song. I forgot the name of the song, but she found a note box. I think she used it as a drum or something. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but it kind of worked. So, the elite. Anything else? Because I'm gonna stop the stream here in a second. So, any suggestions for future topics? Don't be shy. Sleepy in trouble because you're neither smart. Okay.
My wife falls asleep like,
Really?
yeah, and she goes, that's because she says, and I'm up like lately because of work. I'm back up like 3:30 in the morning, just thinking about the crap that's going on, and she goes, that's because you're smart. She goes, stupid people sleep well.
Yeah,
But she's
overanalyzing.
really
Yeah. DTS, if I try dead beef, I usually like my steaks dead. No, but dead beef is a music player. I've actually used it in the past, and I thought it was fine. All jokes aside, as far as a lightweight player, is dead beef still light, DT? As far as a lightweight music, I like Audacious. There's just something about it. Well, it has a better name. Dead beef, or live cow music player, or very light. Okay, yeah. No, it's last time I tried, I thought it was fine. But look, when it comes to multimedia players or music play Linux, there are tons and tons but the name is bloated, really. DT says no, but I just there's something about Audacious. It works. I usually use that. Sometimes I use Rhythmbox. There's a SoundCloud plugin. I have about a dozen news and nonsense shows I did it with Stephanie that I uploaded to SoundCloud over the years, the last couple of years or so. But I usually, in terms of just playing music, I use Audacious. If I want to organize my library by artists and albums, I'll use Rhythmbox. But yeah, Dead Beef is... we need to fork it and call it lean beef. That's another one for DT. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, I like Clementine. I love the tagger in there. It rips CDs pretty well, and it doesn't have the best looking interface.
It does work.
I took a look at Strawberry, which is a fork of Clementine, and it looks the same except there's some red in it. I don't get that, but
the first time I tried Clementine, I'm playing with it and I'm like, oh man, it's raining. It was sunny not too long. It has a rain sound plug-in. I didn't know. I'm hearing rain. I'm like, oh geez, it's raining. Duh. Seriously, I did not know. But yeah, there's lots of choices. They're not necessarily all the best or all good. But yeah, I use one of three. I use VLC, which is also video, Audacious, and Rhythm. I mean, Rhythmbox has been around at least since 2006. My first try with Ubuntu. There's another one called Lollipop. Yeah. Hello, Ron. Welcome.
Hey, Ron.
Doing a drive-by on the chat. Okay. So
Get your TP.
yeah, I'll have to check tomorrow. See if they got the rolls back in stock. I'm okay as far as TP goes. I don't know about Kleenex. I got some here. That is still kind of full, so I guess
Well,
I'm
that's
okay.
next because now they're starting to buy Kleenex, but now it's going to get down to the point where the only one that's going to be left is the Vicks Kleenex.
Okay.
Just use your imagination.
Yeah, really. Anyway. Okay, my friends, I'm going to shut down the chat, the stream here. So thank you to everybody for stopping by. Always a pleasure. DT, thank you for stopping by. Check out DistroTube's channel. The question is, when DT sounds like a video, which audio player does Hall & Oates sound the best on? But you know what? Since all of their songs are great, it doesn't matter. How's that for an answer? I mean, how many hits do they have? 20, 30 over the years? I think they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like 5 years ago, right? Something like that. I mean, it's a lot. So they sound good on anything, you know. But Costco was out of paper towels. You're the man eater, yeah. You know, I'll leave you guys on this. Speaking of Hall Notes, a little bit of trivia. That classic song, She's Gone, I believe John Oates wrote it back in the early 70s. Now, this is before they became famous. He said on a show that he had a blind date with someone, some girl, at a bar or something in New York. Well, it was after she was supposed to come after midnight or something, and she never showed. He got stood up, and he said to himself, well, that's it. She's gone. And he wrote the song. Again, there are just some people, they just have a gift for writing a song, but that's how the song, and I believe that was their first big hit. They got him on the charts. Of course, after that, the rest is history. You know, Kisses on My List, I Can't Go For That, Private Eyes, you know, You Make My Dreams Come True. Anyway, I do not know if they use any Linux. Yeah. They probably pay someone to use Linux is what they do, you know. They're still popular now. Yeah, they sound just as good live now as they did many years ago. Low spec, yeah. Yeah, they are the real deal still. All right, that's all I have for this. Guys, keep in touch again. I might be on again Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I may cancel because of the health crisis thingy going on, but I don't know. Just be on the lookout. But right now it is scheduled for this Sunday, 1:30 p.m. The Linux 18, the UK edition, if you would like to join. Ciao.
Later. Bye.